Good evening, my dear students of Standard 8. Here I am to take your chemistry class from science. We are talking about chapter 6 from your science book. Dear students, we know that atoms are made of three particles: electron, proton, and neutron. Today, in this class, we will learn the electronic configuration. That means the distribution of electrons on different shell of an atom. From Bohr's model, already we know that electrons are configured in different shell. That means, according to Bohr's model, electrons are distributed in different energy levels on the basis of 2n square formula. From Bohr's model, we know that electrons are distributed not only in one shell, in different shell, where the shell has a maximum electron holding capability. This electron holding capability is calculated by using 2n square formula. Here n is the shell number. That means the first shell, K shell, where n equal 1, that means this shell can hold maximum 2 electrons by 2n square formula. L shell, that means second shell, it can contain maximum 8 electrons. In this way, third shell, that means M shell, it can hold 18 electrons. Fourth shell, it can hold 32 electrons. Fifth shell, O shell, it can hold 50 electrons, and so on. By using this 2n square formula, we can distribute the electrons in different shell of an atom. And the electronic configuration of some elements from atomic number 1 to 20 is shown here. Look here, the hydrogen atom, it has atomic number 1, so it has only 1 electron. So 1 electron, it is present on the first shell of hydrogen atom. Helium, it has 2 electrons, so it is present on the first shell of helium atom. But lithium, its atomic number is 3, so lithium has 3 electrons. 3 electrons cannot be contained by only one shell. That means first shell can contain only 2 electrons. So 2 electron will be remained on the first shell, and the third electron, it will go to second shell. In this way, beryllium, first shell 2 electrons, second shell also 2 electrons. You will write by using comma. Boron, it has 5 electrons, so its electronic configuration will be 2, 3. That means first shell, it has 2 electrons, and second shell, it has 3 electrons. Carbon, 2, 4, nitrogen, 2, 5, oxygen, 2, 6, fluorine, 2, 7, neon, 2, 8, in this way. But look, students, for sodium, first shell, if there are 2 electrons, then there will be remained 9 electrons. But 9 electrons cannot be contained by second shell, because the maximum electron holding capacity of second shell is 8. So second shell, if it can hold 8 electrons, then the remaining 1 electron, it will go to the third shell. So the electronic configuration of sodium will be 281. In this way, magnesium, here also the last 2 electrons will go to third shell. So its electronic configuration will be 282. Aluminium, it will be 283. Silicon, it will be 284. Phosphorus, it will be 285. Sulfur, 286. Chlorine, 287. Argon, 288, in this way. Now, dear students, look, for potassium, its atomic number is 19. So it has 19 electrons. So first shell, there will be 2 electrons. Second shell, there will be 8 electrons. And there are remained 9 electrons. And the third shell can contain maximum 18 electrons. But there is an exception. All 9 electrons cannot be present on the third shell. There is also another rule, that is, if any shell is the last shell of an atom, then this shell cannot contain more than 8 electrons. For every atom, the last shell of an atom can contain maximum 8 electrons. So, if the electronic configuration of potassium was 289, then it violates the rule. So, there will be 8 electrons on the third shell and 1 electron it will go to the fourth shell. Dear students, you will learn it very clearly in your next class, that means in standard 9. Calcium also, it could be 2, 8, 10, but if the electrons, 10 electrons were present in third shell, then the rules will not be maintained, so it will be 2882. In your this class, only these 20 element, the electronic configuration of these 20 elements are enough for you. No need to learn more. Now look, distribution of electrons, it can also be in diagram. That means if you will write the electronic configuration, it is only the electronic configuration, but if the question was like this, if the question is like this, that you have to draw the diagram of electronic configuration, then you have to show like this way, where you have to show the electrons on different shell. For example, sodium, the electronic configuration of sodium is 281. That means in first shell there will be 2 electrons, in second shell there will be 8 electrons. 8 electrons you can write by pair, and also you can write separately 8 electrons using same distance, and the last 1 electron it will go to the third shell. In this way the diagram also can be drawn. Here another example, that is chlorine. Here look, in the center you can write chlorine, or you can use a positive sign, a plus sign, that means nucleus is positive, or you can write proton and neutron. Here the electronic configuration of chlorine is shown here. Chlorine has 17 electrons, so its electronic configuration will be 287. Look, in first shell there are 2 electrons, in second shell, look here, there is no pair. Here the electrons are distributed in separate way. There are 8 electrons in second shell, and in third shell there are total 7 electrons. This is the electronic configuration of chlorine in diagram. And another thing, that is diagram of atom. These two figures, there are shown only the distribution of electron. There is not shown the neutron and proton. But when you will draw the diagram of an atom, then you have to show proton and neutron also. That means how many proton and how many neutron present in this atom. You have to show this in the center, like this. This is the diagram of oxygen. Oxygen, it has 8 proton and 8 neutron, and it has also 8 electron. So you can show this by this way. 8 proton and 8 neutron. This is in the center, and 8 electrons. That means in first shell there are 2 electrons, and in second shell there are 6 electrons. You can show like this way. This is the diagram of potassium. Potassium, the electronic configuration is 2881, and it has 19 proton and 20 neutron. So proton and neutron you will show in the center, and electrons will be shown on different shells like this way. Now, stability of atom. Dear students, look, there are some atoms. These are helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. Where helium, neon, argon, you need only these 3 elements, but I have shown here Also other three elements, no need to do the electronic configuration or no need to learn the electronic configuration of these three. Just to your clear conception I have shown here. Look, can you see anything here? Except helium, look other elements. Here the electronic configuration of neon is 2,8, argon 2,8,8, krypton 2,8,18,8, xenon 2,8,18,18,8, and radon 2,8,18,32,18,8. All they have 8 electrons on their last shell except helium. I told that the last shell of an atom, second shell, third shell, fourth shell, fifth shell, or any shell. But if it is the last shell, then the shell cannot contain more than 8 electrons. Here, all they have 8 electrons on their last shell. The atoms which have 8 electrons on their last shell, they are stable in nature. They are automatically stable. And other elements, they have not 8 electrons on their last shell. They are not stable, but they want to become stable. They want to gain 8 electrons on their last shell. But these elements, these 6 elements, they have already 8 electrons, but helium, it has 2 electrons, but it is the first shell, and the maximum electron holding capacity of first shell is 2. So it is also stable. All these 6 elements, they are stable and they have a name, specific name. They are called inert gas. Dear students, in my first class, I had told that the gaseous molecules are diatomic, and I had also given some example. But helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon, they are also gaseous molecule. They are also gas, but they are not diatomic. They are monoatomic. They are single atom. Helium, you cannot write Ag2 or Ne2. They are monoatomic. Why? Because they are stable. They are called inert gas. Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon, these 6 gases are called inert gas. Do you know why they are called inert gas? Because all their last shell is fulfilled by 8 electrons except helium. I told it. Helium has 2 electrons on its first shell, that is the last shell, and the maximum electron holding capacity of this shell is 2. So except helium, these 5 gases have 8 electrons on their last shell, and for having these 8 electrons on the last shell, they are stable and they are called inert. The atoms having 8 electrons are chemically stable. They have no need to release or accept any electron. What did I tell? I told that other elements, only these 6 elements, except these 6 elements, all elements are unstable, and all their tendency to get 8 electrons on their last shell. So they either release or accept electrons to gain stability. But these atoms, they have no need to accept or release any electrons because already they have 8 electrons on their last shell. So they are chemically stable. When any atoms accept electrons, look, when any atoms accept electron, then its number of electron is more than proton, so it will be an negative ion. And when any atoms release electron, then its number of electron is less than its proton, so then it will become positive ion. So in this way, ion is formed, which we will learn in our next class. But these atoms, they have no need to gain or no need to release any electrons. So they don't make any ion. So they are chemically stable or inert. They are also called noble gas. They are called inert gas. They are called noble gas. They are chemically stable. They are monoatomic. Why they are monoatomic? Because they don't make any ion. There are many compounds, but do you hear any compound which is made by these elements? There are huge compounds, they are made by all other elements, but there are no compound. There are some exceptions, there are some complex compound which you will learn in very upper classes, but in this level you had learned many compounds, but no of them are made by these elements, because these elements don't make any compound, they don't make any ion, even they are not combined with their own atom. When an atom becomes diatomic, when a molecule becomes diatomic, suppose oxygen, O2, that means two oxygen atoms are combined to make O2. Two hydrogen atoms are combined to make H2. But these atoms, they are not combined with their own atom. So they are monoatomic. They have no need to make any bond with other atoms, even they are not bonded with their own atoms. So they are monoatomic. Dear students, did you understand all these atoms, why they are called inert, why these atoms are stable, or why these atoms are monoatomic? This is the answer here. Only for their 8 electrons on the last shell. They are chemically stable and they don't release or accept any electrons, and they don't make any ion, so they don't make any compound. Look, this is the periodic table of the elements which you will learn in your next class, standard 9. Look, if you see the periodic table, then you will observe these elements. I have told the name of these elements: helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, and this is a new element. No need to this is a new element, no need to learn this. These 6 elements, they are present at the same group, at the same column. They are inert gas. Now, I told that every atom wants to get 8 electrons on its last shell. Why? Because every atoms want to become stable. The atoms which are already stable, they are stable. But other atoms, they want to become stable. How? Either they will release electrons or they will accept electrons. Some atoms by releasing electrons will become stable, and some atoms by accepting electrons will become stable. Now, every atom wants to get 8 electrons on its last shell. To get 8 electrons on their last shell, some atoms release electrons and some atoms accept electrons. Now, dear students, how will you understand which atoms will release electron and which atoms will accept electrons? This is very easy. Look, the atoms having 1, 2 or 3 electrons on their last shell are metal. In previous junior classes, you learned that the metal are those which have on the last of their name: lithium, sodium, magnesium, calcium, potassium, like this. And this is more easy to understand which are metal and which are non-metal. That is, the atoms having 1, 2 or 3 electrons on their last shell are metal. They release the electrons from their last shell. After releasing electron from the last shell, the atoms become stable. It is very easy to release 1, 2 or 3 electrons from the last shell of an atom. But if an atom has more than 3 electrons, then this number of electrons cannot be released. An atom can release 1 electron, an atom can release 2 electrons, or an atom can release 3 electrons. But more than 3 electrons cannot be released by an atom. So, when an atom releases 3 electrons from its last shell, then previous this shell there was 8 electrons. So now after releasing these outermost shell electrons, the atoms gain stability by holding 8 electrons on its last shell, because its last shell then was the previous shell of that shell. After releasing electron from the last shell, the atoms become stable. And the atoms having 5, 6 or 7 electrons on their last shell are non-metal. I told that the atoms having 1 to 3 electrons on their last shell are metal, and the atoms having 5, 6 or 7 electrons on their last shell are non-metal. They accept the required number of electrons. Required number of electrons means the atom which has 5 electrons on its last shell, it needs 3 electrons to gain stability, because if it accepts 3 electrons, then it will get total 8 electrons. If an atom has 6 electrons, it needs 2 electrons, and if an atom has 7 electrons, it needs only 1 electrons to become stable. And after accepting electron, the atoms become stable, because after accepting the required number of electrons, the atoms get 8 electrons on its outer shell and it becomes stable. For example, look, sodium. Sodium, the electronic configuration of sodium is 281. So sodium has 1 electron on its last shell. If sodium releases its 1 electron, then its last shell will be second shell, and there are 8 electrons. So now after releasing 1 electron, the electronic configuration of sodium becomes 28. That means it will become stable. In the same way, chlorine. Chlorine has 7 electrons, because the electronic configuration of chlorine is 287. So if chlorine accepts 1 electron on its last shell, then the electronic configuration of sodium will become 288 and it will also become stable. Now, dear students, you have already question, isn't it? I told that the atoms having 1 to 3 electrons are metal, and the atoms having 5, 6, 7 electrons are non-metal. 8 electrons already you know, they are inert gas. But what happened to the atoms having 4 electrons? I didn't tell anything about it. 4 electrons, that means carbon 24, silicon 284, in this way. What happened to them? They are metal or non-metal? Carbon, silicon, they are metal, but after that the atoms will come gradually, they will become metal, but carbon and silicon, they are non-metal. But I told that more than 3 electrons cannot be released or cannot be accepted. So what will do carbon? Carbon will not become stable. Dear students, carbon will also become stable, but carbon will not release any electrons or carbon will not accept any electrons. Carbon will become stable by sharing its electron. That will not be learned in your this class. You will learn this in the next upper class. That means in standard 9 you will learn this, but the atoms which have 4 electrons on its last shell, they will also become stable, but not in this way. In this way, by releasing or accepting electron, an atom becomes stable. Now, look, this is the electronic configuration of sodium. It has only 1 electron. If sodium can release this 1 electron, then this shell, it has no need. That means it has no electron here, so no need to draw this shell. There are 8 electrons on its second shell, and now it will be its last shell. So after getting 8 electrons on the last shell, sodium will become stable. But there is a thing, that is, when sodium will release 1 electron, then sodium will become stable, but it will not become neutral. It will be positive ion, because now after releasing 1 electron, the proton number is 11. It has not changed, but electron is now 10. So it has now positivity. After releasing 1 electron, sodium will make sodium ion, and now it will become stable. In the same way, chlorine, when it will accept one electron, then now in this chlorine there are total 18 electrons because it has accepted one electron on its last shell to gain stability, but it has 17 protons. This chlorine has 17 protons and this chlorine has also 17 protons, but it has one electron more than this. Electron is more, so it will gain negativity and it will become negative ion. We will learn about this ion, formation of ion, in our next class in details. So today, dear students, up to this, goodbye everyone. See you in next class.